doing. What do you all think? You know, I have to do this presentation tomorrow, and I'm thinking what to do. Or, you know, can you give me some ideas? These are the type of things. So, in other words, things which directly affect you, which you can do, action-oriented. We have the platform. But if you don't use the platform in the right way, the platform will be of little use, little consequence, okay? But remember that someone else took over your affairs, meaning that when you are overburdened with something, let's say for instance you were in a relationship and that relationship suddenly broke. The other person went apart and you are in a desperate state. And you wish to mend, or you know, you're looking for some form of comfort. Do not overburden yourself. Do not overburden yourself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who will take care of it. And Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam drew the example of the birds. Anybody remember the example of the birds? What did he talk about with the birds? What happens to the birds? They go out in the morning. Do they have anything with them? No. And they come back. Had the needs been taken care of? Are the birds concerned? Where you know, wow, what's going to happen today? Are we going to get our fill? You know, what is going to happen to our young one? Are we going to get enough food? But Allah provides. With no care in the world, they go out, they do whatever they want, they travel long distances, and they get whatever it is that they like. The fourth one we talk about is something called sincerity to God. So he says that, look at this carefully, he says, actions are like statues that only come to life with a spirit of sincerity. So what do you think that means? Actions are like statues that only come to life with a spirit of sincerity. Samir, what do you think that means?
If a person does an action, then without sincerity, then it stands, it's there. You realize the action, but though it's missing the essence of it itself. But when someone does an action with sincerity itself, not only does that action, you know, occur, but you can see the full benefits of it, the things that you wouldn't have seen if it wasn't there. Life essence of it.
Yeah, that's good. So let's look at the references now, 4142 and 6162. Now as you go through these, if you have a pen or whatever it is, or pencil, feel free to remember those ayat, feel free to go back and check on it again, because this is the way I want you to be able to engage with the Quran, okay? These are some of the ayat, you may not have come across them before, but I hope that you look at them now, inshallah. 4142 and 6162. All right. Okay, by a quick show of hands, how many of you are doing this type of exercise for the first time in this type of setting? Has anybody ever done it before? Has anybody ever done this before? Okay. So is it helpful? It's helpful to be able to engage. So what can you do? What can you do with this? The next time you go back home and you have your circles or you have your programs, you see, we want people to be able to engage with the Quran. So we have to show them. So it's not just saying, brothers, you need to be able to read the Quran, you'll be able to do this. By the end of the session, we may have read 20 ayat of the Quran. Isn't that an accomplishment? 20 ayat. Would we have fully understood every single thing that is said? No. Would we have been able to identify where those 20 ayat are? Yes. Would we have been able to have some sense of meaning of what it is? Yes. Would we have been able to say that it can relate to something which affects us? Yes. Will we go back again and come back to it again and learn something new? Yes, inshallah. Okay? So this is something that I want you to start developing, inshallah. Okay? So, okay, so what does it say? So 41142. Anybody? Actions are like statues that only come to life with the spirit of sincerity. Tariq?
Basically, in essence, that
that ayah is really saying that the actions of the hypocrites are meaningless to Allah because they are not sincere.
Okay.
And your action can get life only.
Yeah. Malik, what do you think it means? What do you think that means? Any action done without saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is what?
So, from my understanding, the benefit of every action is very limited. It's temporary in the dunya. However, only when it's for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you'll find the benefit in the dunya and the akhirah. So it will last forever.
Yeah, that's true. But this is saying that actions are like statues without a spirit of sincerity. So it's linking the core value there is sincerity. Okay, yeah.
Actions are like statues, and it only comes back to the spirit. Sincerity of spirit.
Okay. So what? Okay.
It's like you go to the masjid.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see how many people come pray salah every day.
Yeah.
5 times a day. And they leave, and when you reach them outside, they are the same person 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They come, they sit in the mosque, pray, and when they go outside, they're like talking, backbiting, they are involving in all kinds of actions that they're not improving their life as a person, as a Muslim.
So tell me. So he's used some important words, isn't
In
it?
addition to that, right,
Yeah.
a person can be praying 5 times per day.
Yeah.
The true essence of his prayer is
Yeah.
when he go out
Yeah.
and do the works of helping those outside. Then you realize his true essence, his connection with his spirit towards Allah.
Okay.
Not quite.
So this is a statue here. This is a statue which I've carved. This is a statue which I've carved. Okay? This is a statue. What do you think about it?
It can be created.
I'm reading Quran to it. What is happening to the statue? It's not moving, is it? The adhan is being called. No, is the statue going to pray? No. This might be in the mosque as well, and the adhan is being called. It still wouldn't pray, isn't it? So it's dead, isn't it? It's not alive. So what did Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam say about the one who without the dhikr of Allah, the remembrance of Allah? It's like the comparison is like the living and the dead. So it means that dhikr, remembrance of Allah, is supposed to, that's the source of life. The Quran is meant to give you life. The Quran gives you life. That is what empowers you. So that is why, and you want to know why it is that people are just roaming around in society, running after materialism. Why it is that this is happening to them? Just running after materialism. And that is because they lack that remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And beyond that now, here he links it with sincerity, with ikhlas. You see, you've heard the hadith, isn't it? Whoever says Surah Al-Ikhlas, how many times? 3 times? Is almost as equivalent to, it's not authentic, isn't it? Most of the, 1/3, okay? But even the idea of reading something 3 times, you say, if I read Surah Al-Ikhlas 3 times, is that like, would you say I've read the entire Quran? Is it? I mean, instead of reading the Quran from, let's say in the month of Ramadan, I want to read the Quran 3 times. So I say, you know what, guys, reading from Surah Al-Fatiha to Surah Al-Nas can't cut it. But I want the blessings of reading the Quran 3 times. You know what? I'll read the Quran 30 times. And the way I'll do it is very simple. I'll just read Surah Al-Ikhlas 3 times every day. And then over 30 days, I've done it 30 times. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? It's not the same? So what do you think? What do you think that hadith, if let's assume it's authentic, what do you think it means? Reward? Reward for what? But what it is trying to tell you, how do you see the hadith beyond what is obvious in front of you? How would you see it?
I think it's not just reading, so from understanding.
Okay. So what does Surah Al-Ikhlas talk about? It talks about, so it's talking about, we call it ikhlas, isn't it? The same word as here. So it's sincerity. But this sincerity is to who? It's about Allah. It's about our understanding of who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. Telling us that one of the core pillars of your faith, in a sense, almost 1/3 of your faith, core pillar of your faith is that of ikhlas. Is that of ikhlas. You see, you can tell, sometimes, have you ever, can you tell somebody who is a muttaqi and who is not? Can you tell if you're muttaqi or if you're not a muttaqi? Can you tell? Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum, that the best of you is the one who has the most taqwa, the Quran tells us. But can you tell? You can't look at someone, because where does it require? A taqwa, hahuna, isn't it? Taqwa is inside. Okay. But are there signs of the one who has muttaqi? Yes, there are signs, isn't it? So you look at ayatul birr, laysa birra an tuwallu, until ulaika humul muttaqun. Those are the ones who have taqwa, and all of the qualities are listed there. But what I'm trying to say is that if you think about it, even though that you want to become a muttaqi, but to become a muttaqi now, you don't just say, I have taqwa. You don't just say, oh, it's somewhere in my heart. I can just about feel it. My mood is changing. Okay? And it's there somewhere. It's residing.